Oh God, this is like one of them. Was it Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead kind of moments? Obviously, she's not dead, but Jennifer Salke is out at Amazon Studios, and this is a good thing.
Hell yes.
She ultimately is the reason why a lot of our favorite franchises properties ultimately failed and never come to fruition because Rings of Power was a stinker from the beginning. The Boys started out strong in like the first season, and the second season, and then like you can kind of tell like the massive TDS attack in people's brains, like a stroke, and I just stopped watching it altogether. I didn't enjoy that. Wheel of Time, that was just queer coding everywhere. It was a gay allegory. It did an extreme disservice to the books and the original series. And franchise like Conan the Barbarian, a very masculine movie franchise slash comic books, novels. I'm pretty sure there was a TV series at one point was supposed to come to Amazon, and she ultimately said that it was too toxic and was too masculine to put on Amazon Prime services, and this is why we didn't get it. But this is the same company, which you could tell she didn't have ultimate control over everything because we got the likes of Terminalist, the Tomorrow War, um, Reacher, which is a fantastic series if you guys have Prime Video, which I think everyone does with Prime. But what do you think, Kevin?
Dude, I'm gonna keep it real. After I heard all the backlash about what happened with Rings of Power, I lost interest. I mean, like, I was never really a big fan of Lord of the Rings, but it's just not something that I wanted to watch. Just because like of all the backlash from it. And it none of the other like shows really caught my interest. Like maybe Reacher, because like I see that like Reacher at least keeps to some of like Tom Clancy's um storytelling and character like accuracy and stuff like that. So like I probably will pick up Reacher, but like none of these other shows, just based off of like what people are saying about the shows, interest me whatsoever.
And I feel like have you watched Lord of the Rings at all, like the movies, read the books?
Dude, I'm gonna keep it real. It's on my watch list. I haven't watched a single movie, not a single minute of it.
Wow.
Say what?
Okay, so if I were you, watch the extended versions. It's a lot. They're like 3 hours, but they're fantastic, and I think you would like the books because J.R.R. Tolkien, uh, he's obviously from Great Britain. Uh, he wrote. He was a very strong Christian, and he wrote stories that were based in the Bible, not based in the Bible, but they have very strong Christian themes. And he just, I think it was after the war, after he fought, that's when he started writing these books. And he basically wrote what he wasn't seeing written out there. So it's kind of like the first of its kind. Like that's why you see a lot of uh, other books, movies, TVs, whatever, comics. They kind of base a lot of it off of uh, Lord of the Rings. Like the idea of orcs. Orcs originated with J.R.R. Tolkien. He was the original like famous fantasy writer, I guess we can call him. So I think you'd probably enjoy that. If anything, you should come over and we'll watch them because I have the extended versions.
Yeah, that's the honestly the reason why I have them all, like on my like short list for like movies that I need to watch. Was because of the fact that like they do have like strong Christian themes like throughout the stories. And I will say this, if you want a good story, base it on Christianity at some level. You do not have to copy word for word like what the Bible says and shit like that. But like it's just the themes of what the like Bible portrays create good stories. Like the whole idea of having like a close friend betraying you, that's already been in the Bible, right? We saw that already. And it creates a lot of drama in your like in your story. So I'll just leave it there. I'll end that thought before we start like losing people. But you know, it is it is something that you should probably do if you're a writer or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And to bring it back to Lord of the Rings and stuff, it's just this Rings of Power, man. The clips I saw, creators like, Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers, and I probably say that 1,000 times now, but we watch them before we watch anything because like we don't want to waste our times, and they kind of tell how it is and they show us clips. There's clips like one of the dwarfs, the elf was trying to tell him something, and the dwarf's like,
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
you couldn't sound more gay. Like holy crap. And then there's black dwarves
You
underground.
know, hold on, let me stop you there. You know, some writer was like, it'd be really fucking funny if we put a dick joke in there.
Oh, of course. In a
Out of context, that sounds absolutely hilarious, but
it,
like,
it,
it's really annoying if you're like deep into a show and like you're really like into it, and then you just hit you in the face with a dick joke. Like, it is like, all right, come on, like you just lost me.
and there's nothing wrong with adding a little bit of like humor into it, but like Lord of the Rings, it's not supposed to be a funny thing. It's a very serious
There's a time and a
story.
place for everything.
And it's just weird. And don't get me started with the inaccuracies of the story, like there being black dwarves. Dwarves live underground in mountains that away from sunlight, so they wouldn't have a chance to tan. There are obviously races in Lord of the Rings that are dark skinned that you could use. You don't have to change up lore. Um, there's no real dark skinned elves. That's not a thing either. That was another thing that's in Rings of Power, and it was just really poor writing. Sauron isn't a villain. It's another one of them sympathetic villain arcs and crap, and it's just I get it. They didn't have access to the books. They had access to the Silmarillion, which is kind of like the beginning and like the history and terminology stuff like that. So they didn't have like, but they had tons of stories to use. They had original characters and they're ripping off, and it was, dude, it hurt my brain just watching the first episode. 'Cause I tried it before I saw reviews of it, and it just hurt my brain. And then the boys, like I said in the beginning, it started off strong, and then you could tell someone was like, "We know we need, we need a Trump allegory," and then like they threw that in there, and I would have killed though to see a Conan the Barbarian like series or movie franchise, whatever they were doing, because nothing's more masculine than Conan the Barbarian. Because there's fighting, there's blood, there's boobs. What more could you ask? Scantily armored, dressed up women. Like nothing's better than that.
Amen.
No, I agree with you. Like, I watched the first season of The Boys and like half of like the second season, just because like to me, like that show, like it's just shock humor, and like this they do things just for like shocking like purposes. Not really even for like storytelling and shit like that. Is just like, okay, like I get it. Like, it's grotesque, it's over the top, like it's meant to be like sort of like this like dark humor like show. But like when you start bringing in like real life like political like talking points, that's when you start losing me. Like, I watch a show to escape reality. I don't want to be slapped in the face with like real life issues. I want to watch a show to escape from real life
Absolutely,
reality.
absolutely. It's just it's because it's pushing an agenda, it's pushing an ideology, and then not focusing again on the story, the characters. Putting a positive message or provoking feelings that you know you feel. You don't have to tell someone what to think. It kind of makes the consumer, I'm going to say, which I'd hate that word, but the person who's watching the product makes them think, huh, and not what to think. I think it's a huge problem. But ultimately, from this article and from what everyone says, even her position has been eliminated entirely, which is a huge red flag to me because a lot of times when you eliminate the position, it kind of prevents there being any backlash in terms of lawsuits So it wasn't like they fired her. And well, it doesn't say she was fired, but like the fact that they eliminated the position kind of sounds like a firing to me. Um, that she was stepping down, and now she's leading a production of whatever, nobody knows. But apparently the people who what's the term I'm looking for? The people who reported to her are now reporting directly to the head of everything. So you know what? Just don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you, and hopefully we never see or hear from her again. But I hope she lives a long, healthy life, loving family, whatever. But just
Just don't
please
make
stay away.
content anymore.
Just please stay away from all our beloved franchises and properties, please. Bye.
Yeah, no. I want to go back to watching good shows.
Hey, you made it to the end. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like and subscribe button. Comment down below. We want to hear your thoughts, and we'll catch you on the next one.